Determine that, but Elsie, we're here to explore some of the psychological dimensions of this. You're not only a great defense lawyer, but you're a experienced clinical psychologist. You know, feminists for years have fed us the line that women who kill only because they're battered and they're never wrong and they're never motivated by money. This is a case where, if it's true, the woman seems to be motivated by a combination of rage, jealousy, and also money. Women can be just as bad as men, can't they?
Well, I think every person, including feminists, would certainly agree that a woman is a human being and a person, contrary to how some people feel. What's so different about a woman? I mean, first of all, this person is presumed innocent. Let's not forget that. Sure. And but do we really know about the context and the texture of her relationship with her husband? We have no idea. He seems like somebody who's perfectly capable of brutality. I'm not saying...
Well, brutality takes many forms. Right. Psychological brutality, emotional brutality. And here, of course, we do know, the jury doesn't know, but we know that there were episodes in the past with the shootings and guns. This is a house loaded with guns. A man who seemed to live by the gun and died by the gun.
Right. And we have no idea, actually, how he died. I mean, the prosecution seems pretty convinced that it's this so-called black widow, this evil woman. Somehow, when women do things, it always gets portrayed as much more scandalous than when guys do it.
Well, because it's so much more natural with guys. I mean, guys murder all the time. Women murder very, very rarely, and so it becomes a big issue. I wanted to ask you, Laura, we were talking about how he died. How is anybody ever going to prove degree of murder in this case?
Well, I think that's an interesting thing that you brought up. The way that this victim died is particularly strange. It seems like it would be the way that he killed points to his killer, somebody who knew him, who had a relationship with him, and that would indicate in many circumstances his wife, and she does. How are they going to prove the degree of murder? I think a lot of it is going to go around the motive and her actions. And at the end of the day, I think what the prosecutor may want to do is get the jury so enraged about the manner of death and what this woman did that they're going to say, this is just ridiculous. First-degree murder. Yeah,
but first-degree murder requires that you show, intention, premeditation, all of those things, planning. How do you know in a case like this? Let's assume everything is true, and let's reject the presumption of innocence for a minute and talk about the possibility that maybe she's guilty, that it wasn't an impulsive shooting. And then after the impulsive shooting, the body is dismembered and everything like that. How do you ever get in the mind of the defendant in a case like this?
Because I think a prosecutor can stand up and successfully argue to a jury when a person points a gun at somebody's body and fires more than one time, that those times that is premeditation. I am deciding I want you to die, and I'm going to fire once and again and again and again. I want you to die, and that is the premeditation.
But psychologically, when lots and lots of bullets are put in somebody's body, doesn't it sometimes sound like overrage, that's hate, and maybe it wasn't planned, maybe it was impulsive.
In an excited emotional state, people often open the gun, empty the gun, and actually, didn't Jack Littman win that?
Yes.
Successfully defend somebody who reloaded three times.
Yeah, I had a case where I didn't win, where I was on appeal where a woman killed her batterer but reloaded, and that became very difficult to the jury, although they did find second-degree murder, so maybe it was a little bit of a victory.
But I think what the prosecution has going for them in this particular case is a motive. So not only can the manner of death indicate premeditation, but there is a reason to kill, which I think a prosecutor can say to the jury, this was all part of a plan that was made before the person pointed the gun.
But remember, there's two motives in this case. One, jealousy, and the other, financial. The financial suggests planning, if it's true, but the jealousy can be consistent also with something impulsive, something, she found out something suddenly. After all, she was bugging him, we know that, taping him, so who knows? And as the instruction will go to the jury, you can't base degrees of murder on speculation, but we'll come back to this issue after we take a break. But as we go to a break, let's take a look at today's 13th juror question. Ron Ruden's bookkeeper, Sharon Melton, testified that